Afternoon everybody. Another update on what seems to be the gardens of Ponderosa again. Start off in the Polytunnel. Been away for a week and everything seems to have just absolutely exploded with the heat. We've got pretty much every tomato plant now is full of tomatoes, all at different stages. When we have a look in the greenhouse, you'll see some of the cherry tomatoes seem to be ripening fairly fast. But yeah, you can see quite a few of them now. They've had a good water, they've had a good feed. They seem to just be growing in the heat in this polytunnel, which I didn't think was going to be as hot as what it is, but it's actually hotter than the greenhouse. It's been 41 degrees in here today. These are a selection of pepper plants that we grew from seed. So they're slightly behind what we've got just behind us. But again, these are more tomato plants. Variety on these ones. These are a mixture of either Moneymaker or Alicante. In the pots that they're in, I've got these quite cheap actually. These are only a couple of quid, but they're 30 litre pots. They seem to be, I hope that's what that indicates anyway. Yeah, 30 litre pots, and these pretty much do the job for the tomatoes. So the ones that we have in the greenhouse are absolutely colossal. The ones that we have in the greenhouse are 60 litre, and they're grown trusses that are absolutely colossal. But these are the peppers anyway. You can see some of them are changing colour, and we've got quite a few of them on there now. So yeah, these ones are sweet red. They're starting to change already. But yeah, that's it pretty much for the polytunnel. And now we're coming up to 6 o'clock, and you can see it's around about the 28 degrees inside here. So let's head off to look at the greenhouse. The pound shop raspberry plants seem to be just flying away. God knows if we're going to get any raspberries. I need to put them in the ground more than likely. But yeah, started off with a tiny little plant, and now they're absolutely flying away. Right, when we arrived today, this was, even though it still looks like a jungle, it was just overrun with tomatoes that were, the plants were trying to push out the roof of the greenhouse, so we've had to top them off and take a hell of a lot of leaves off. But there's enough there for photosynthesis to kick in. But the amount of tomatoes we've got in here, we're talking hundreds now, all different varieties, but mainly the cherry ones and a variety of plum, which we'll come to in a second. But these ones, thankfully, a bit of a rainbow effect going on there. They're starting to change colour, they're starting to ripen up, so we should be pulling them, I think, in the next 7 to 10 days, I think. Fingers crossed. These ones are the variety of plum, and they're absolutely colossal. You probably can't see, I'm putting something like my hand behind it. If you look at the size of that, they are just huge, and there's dozens on there. And again, these are another cherry, but these ones are actually gardener's delight. But you can see every single truss we've got another, fair few dozen on there. A real good surprise though is when we arrived back today, the aubergines, absolutely boatloads of them, and they're big. If we can get in there close enough, hopefully you can see. We've got a few now that probably could be picked actually, especially we've got this one down here, seems to be the biggest of the bunch. But one thing we've noticed with this is for sure is that the more leaves that we have flying around the place, the more midges and flies seem to love the soil. So we've tried to eradicate as much of that as possible. And again, it's just tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. One quick thing about the pots in here though, if we just look at the pots, you'll notice when we potted them up, these are 60 litre, so they're huge, but we actually put holes in them. And we read about something called air pots, which apparently increases the yield of the tomato plants. For when the roots grow out of the holes, the air prunes it and creates more so they don't become pot bound. So we created them ourselves in case anybody's looking at how to do it. But yeah, let's have a quick look around the rest of the garden. We actually pulled up some potatoes today. We're looking rather worse for wear. It was the purple variety of the Albert Bartlett. So we've got a few of them, I'll show you in a second, but it's probably about 12-15 potatoes we got out of it, which are looking very healthy. Reading up a little bit on onions, I hope we've done the right thing here by bending the tops over. Apparently it puts more energy into making the bulbs bigger, so hopefully these are some of the ones that we've got in the pots. You can see we've just snapped the necks over a bit. They'll start to bulb up now and put all of its energy into bulbing up. Biggest disappointment in the garden so far, it's got to be the carrots. We planted well over 1,000 and not even 150 is germinated, so we've done something drastically wrong there, but we ended up planting a hell of a lot more last week, so fingers crossed we haven't lost everything yet. Leeks are shooting away. We had to put the netting up. The cat decided to pay us another visit, so hopefully it's been taking up somebody else's garden and finding something else to have a crap in. But yeah, these are shooting away. Are the ones that the cat hasn't dug up anyway. Parsnips, surprisingly, from everything that we had read, we were told probably only 50% would germinate, but we're talking probably 90%, 95% of what we've planted germinated. So God knows what we've done right, but it's working. And last but not least, these are the beds. So potatoes, again, some of them looking a little bit worse for wear. They're kind of drooping over a little bit, but that's to be expected. I think some of these, again, because we forgot what we put in what tub, we don't know what's earlies and what's main crop, so we're quite possibly ready with a hell of a lot of the potatoes now, but it's going to be a bit of a magic box when we end up tipping them out, unfortunately. Beetroot, we've pulled a couple of beetroot up today. Good variety, some are huge, some are a good, hopefully if we can get and have a look. Most of them are approximately the size of that, and we've got one or two that are double it, so we've pulled a couple up today, and we've pulled a good few, maybe 5 bunches of spring onions. These are ready. So you've got about 5 bunches of spring onions there. We planted them in bunches and it's working great. Swede coming along very nicely. Nothing pretty much that we can say about that now. And next along, cauliflower. They're actually, if you can get right in, probably not. The lighting's a little bit crap, but yeah, they're coming along very nicely. We've got some purple cauliflower in the next bed, which I'll show you, which is a better one. These are the white turnips. These have actually gone to seed, so we pulled probably about 8 to 10 of them out, and they look fantastic, absolutely fantastic. 2 different varieties. Some of the classic ones that have got the small little white turnip with the kind of purpley shaded top. Last week when we were on, we kind of described that we hadn't a clue what was what on this bed. We thought everything was cabbages, but we've then established that we actually do now know what's in it, purely because of what it's grown. So there we go. This one's broccoli, thankfully. We were hoping that we didn't just plant everything that was sprouts. So we've got quite a few of the broccolis now sprouting up. So we're not actually that far away with the broccoli, to be honest. But these, I believe, I hope, these are cabbages. Again, we did have a netting up but they've grown so big the nettings actually kind of came off the top. But we've had a couple of visits of, I'm assuming, butterflies or anything else there, especially on this one. That seems to be worst hit, anything closest to the ground. Surprisingly not many slugs, but yeah, we've got this is the purple cauliflower. So I wonder if it tastes any different. We'll sure find out when it gets a little bit bigger, but it certainly looks a lovely thing anyway. And last but not least, again, these are the onions that we've snapped the necks over, and hopefully now, even though they're pretty much kind of halfway there with the bulbing up process, they'll put all their energy into the bulb or the onion. So that's pretty much it for that. And last but not least, we'll have a wander over and have a look at what we harvested. Right, this is it. That's what we take home for today. So we've got a couple of bunches of spring onions. We've already given away 3. The rest of these turnips, so these look fairly decent. Again, like I say, we've got 2 different varieties. And size wise, that's pretty much what we're talking. A good fistful. Again, purple topped on some, and this is a different variety which isn't. These are the purple potatoes. These are about the size of a new potato, rather large new potato. They're not actually purple on they're just purple skinned, so they're not purple inside. It'd be rather weird if they were. And we've pulled up a couple of beetroot, again, some that are rather large and some that are little baby ones, but hopefully it all tastes good anyway. But that's it for this week, so catch us later.